Good morning, fellow YouTubers. Coming from you live in Texas. Red October here. Happy, happy, happy. I just wanted to say it's a new day. It's Friday. Lots of good comments on my last two videos. Well, I say lots, but good comments. And, every day is a learning day. Every day is a new look on life, a new perspective. Um, you win some, you lose some. You live and learn. Today you have this thought of what life should be about, where you're at, where you've been, and tomorrow could be a whole different change. We live and we grow. And one of the interesting comments that I got yesterday on one of my videos was from Pops Quest. Many of you that are sub to me are already sub to Pops. Good guy, good-hearted guy, and I read your comment, and I think your response goes with who you are as far as personality, how you view the world, and how you've made it through the world. And it's different for everyone. It's different for wherever you live at in your part of the world. You're just going to have a different viewpoint. And that's not saying that I disagree, because I'm not saying I don't. I appreciate the comment, and I can see where that vision comes from. If you live in a good neighborhood, for example, not talking about you, Pops, but if you live in a good neighborhood and there's no crime, you got a good job, your status is pretty good, everything just goes good in your little world, everything is fine, right? And this applies to me too. This applies to me as well, because I won't say I've had a sheltered life. I've had a good life. I've had a good balance of not too much and not too little. I've kind of always been in the middle here, middle class America. I've seen poverty. I've seen, if you want to call it the ghetto in my area, I've seen where people live at in the projects. I've had family live there. I've gone and visit them. It's just a different world, and you're gonna view the world the way you view it, depending on where you live at, and that's gonna be different for everyone. And in saying that, I think the view on how people perceive the Second Amendment, gun rights, it's different for everyone. New York City, there's tons and tons of people that live so close together, they don't want to think of their neighbor next door having a gun or whatever, because they're like, hey, I live right next door. You live out in rural areas, open areas, houses that are a good distance apart, it doesn't really cross your mind, because you're like, okay, well, if there's room to shoot, go ahead and shoot. You shoot in that direction, doesn't bother me none. That acceptance of that way of life is just different, and this is why it's hard for a lot of people, a lot of channels, just people in general, to see things the same way. It's like people that live in California have no idea of what gun freedom really is until they move to like Arizona, Texas, South Carolina, the more free states. They have their way of living, or their vision of living, it's just different. It's like, okay, we get a 7-round magazine clip, we're happy with it. I know it's not a clip, but I just said that it's a magazine. They've accepted that way of life because that is their world. That is how they function. That's the way the rules are set up. So to them, that's normal. You go across the country to South Carolina, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. You go up to come down here to Texas, there's open land, but there's also a lot of private property, so you just can't shoot as freely, especially near the big cities. But you think about the hunting laws here versus like Alaska, where just things are more wilderness. Imagine, Alaskans, the way they live off the land, the ones that do live off the land, I'm not saying all of them do, but the ones that do live off the land, imagine them coming to the actual United States. Even though I know they're part of our 50 states, I'm saying come to the mainland and try to live that way here, or be told you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. That would just seem crazy to them. And I think that even though we're all 50 states under the United States flag, it's just different for everyone. It's just different on how people view the way life should be, the way they want to live life, their community, politicians, politics. They're just going to be done differently, and it's kind of like the yin and yang. What's good for you is not good for somebody else, and vice versa. And that's the dynamic. That how do you get that as an even playing field for everyone to go by? You can't. Even though we live all under the United States, the rules are just different. The game is not played the same. It's like baseball and softball. It's same field concept, a little different pace of playing. Football and soccer, playing on the turf, playing on a field. The rules are just different. The pace is different. That's the best I got, guys. It's Friday. Have a good one. It's Happy Friday. Happy, happy, happy. Red October out.